On October 29, 1929, during the devastating stock market crash, an anguished individual chose to sell their vehicle amidst the financial turmoil, seeking to obtain some money in the face of the crisis. In the year 1954, a football match between Arsenal and Manchester United became notable for the presence of dense fog that engulfed the entire field. Arsenal's goalkeeper, Jack Kelsey, faced great difficulties in visualizing the ball while playing. In 1945, a 16-year-old German soldier was caught crying after being captured by the Allied forces. This moment poignantly portrayed the sad reality experienced by young individuals forced to fight in conflicts they had no choice in. Sophia Loren, the embodiment of Italian beauty, entered the Miss Italia beauty pageant in 1950, unaware that she would later become one of the biggest stars in world cinema. Although she didn't win the main title, she was crowned Miss Elegance 1950, highlighting her unparalleled elegance. Feel free to subscribe to our channel and leave a like, as it will help us. On February 2, 1931, the legendary filmmaker Charlie Chaplin had the opportunity to attend the premiere of his latest film, City Lights, in Los Angeles, in the company of renowned scientist Albert Einstein. In the year 1913, an extraordinary meeting took place between the tallest, shortest, and fattest men in Europe. These unique figures gathered for a card game, forming a peculiar and unmatched trio. In the year 1912, following the tragic sinking of the Titanic, brothers Michel and Edmund Navradil gained fame as the Titanic Orphans. They were the only children on board the ship who were rescued without the presence of their parents or guardians. After the end of World War II in 1945, the iconic artwork Mona Lisa was finally unveiled, revealing itself after being protected and hidden with utmost care during the years of conflict. In the year 1960, Ruby Bridges, a young African-American girl of only 6 years old, became an emblematic symbol in the fight for civil rights. Accompanied by U.S. Marshals, she courageously entered a formerly all-white school in New Orleans. In 1967, a heroic act took place when a worker bravely performed mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on his colleague after the latter came into contact with a low-voltage wire. The accident occurred at a construction site, where the worker was electrocuted and lost consciousness. In the year 1956, Elizabeth Taylor shone on the set of the American epic Western film Giant. Her performance in this movie placed her at the heart of authentic American culture, portraying a character immersed in the world of cattle in Texas, facing all the challenges and complications inherent to that context. In 1917, a female volunteer driver from the American Red Cross Motor Corps became a prominent figure during World War I. During that time, the organization was involved in efforts to provide medical assistance and transportation to wounded soldiers on the front lines. The dedication and courage of this volunteer driver stood out in that historical context. In a historic moment for the United States, Lyndon Johnson took the oath of office as president aboard Air Force One at Love Field Airport in Dallas. This emblematic moment occurred shortly after the tragic assassination of President Kennedy in November 1963. Vivien Leigh, donning the iconic attire of Scarlett O'Hara, became immortalized as a legendary figure in the history of cinema. Her portrayal of this character was considered one of the most significant and emotionally captivating performances of the 20th century. Rita Hayworth stood out for her beauty and glamorous lifestyle, being one of the most beloved stars of the 1940s. The image portrays the actress in a relaxed and playful moment, capturing her vibrant essence. When John Kennedy and Jacqueline Bouvier got engaged in June 1953, the world was enchanted by the couple. They became a constant fascination, with Life magazine dedicating an entire issue to their engagement. The photographs depict a deeply in love couple, highlighting the special connection between them. At the age of 27 in 1916, Charlie Chaplin was already considered one of the greatest legends of cinema. His journey began in England, where he performed in traveling theater companies before making the leap to the United States in 1910. His comedic skills and charisma won the hearts of the audience, establishing him as an iconic figure in cinematic history. The image captures Kabuto Sentaro, a Japanese military commander, wearing traditional armor in the year 1863. This photograph highlights how the Japanese army preserved ancient traditions until the end of the 19th century, keeping alive the culture and distinctive combat style of that era.
Brigitte Bardot never found ease with fame. From a young age, she was thrust into the spotlight and constantly pursued by paparazzi. This pressure led the young Bardot to step away from the limelight before truly reaching the pinnacle of her career.
Henry Behrens, recognized as the world's shortest man at that time, is depicted dancing with his pet cat at the entrance of his house in Worthing, United Kingdom. Standing at just over half a meter tall, Behrens was a curious attraction for many, arousing interest and fascination due to his unique stature. The image portrays Sally Field on the set of Gidget in 1965 when the actress was still a teenager. The series Gidget became an instant hit and a cultural milestone at the time, in part due to Field's impressive performance. Her acting contributed significantly to the success and lasting impact of the series. The image portrays Salvador Dali on the deck of the SS Normandy during the ship's docking in New York City in 1936. At that time, Dali was already a recognized artist, although he had not yet achieved the status of a cultural icon that he would come to attain in the following years. The image portrays a couple of unemployed loggers who made the decision to dedicate themselves to bean harvesting in search of work in the year 1939. This photo illustrates the struggle and resilience of people during the Great Depression in the United States, a challenging period in which many families faced economic hardships and sought alternatives to sustain themselves. The photograph depicts a group of shoeshiners gathered around an elderly veteran of the Civil War in Pennsylvania in 1935. The scene represents the deep reverence that these young shoeshiners have for the older veteran, acknowledging his history and sacrifices in defense of the country. On their wedding day, the captured image portrays the Kennedy couple. At that moment, the Kennedy family already held influence and respect in the political landscape of the United States, and the wedding celebration significantly contributed to the strengthening of their public image.
Mata Hari's journey was filled with a series of moments of both success and hardships.
In 1905, she began her career as an exotic dancer, captivating audiences with performances inspired by her travels in Asia. During World War II in 1942, 21-year-old Eunice Hancock worked as an operator of a compressed air shredder in an aircraft factory located in the Midwest. In the photo captured in November 1946, a photographer can be seen attempting to conceal the ruins in the background with an improvised curtain.
This image is a powerful example of human resilience and the ability to overcome devastation.
During the Cannes Film Festival in 1958, an iconic photo was captured of Pablo Picasso. In this image, the renowned artist is seen wearing a hat and holding a revolver and holster, which was gifted to him by his friend Gary Cooper. At the Crow Fair in Montana in 1941, a scene depicted Native Americans from the Crow tribe observing a rodeo. The exceptional colorization of this photo conveys a sense of contemporaneity, making it feel as if it is happening in the present, despite being captured decades ago. On May 12, 1924, King Ferdinand and Queen Marie of Romania arrived in Dover, England, for a state visit. The Queen, who was born in England as Princess Marie of Edinburgh, captured the hearts of the Romanian people, becoming one of the most beloved figures in the country's royalty. In 1945, Princess Elizabeth, now known as Queen Elizabeth II, joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service of the British Army as an ambulance driver. Her active involvement in this role was a valuable contribution to the wartime effort in her country. Before the Islamic Revolution of 1979, Iran had a greater Western influence and was more secular in its approach. Women enjoyed more freedom in terms of their clothing and behavior, being able to engage in activities like going to the beach without covering their hair.
Grace Kelly was a renowned American actress in the 1950s, recognized for her timeless beauty and skill in the world of acting.
She shone in films like High Noon and To Catch a Thief, but it was her performance in Magambo that led her to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 1954. We appreciate you joining us in this video and encourage you to subscribe to our channel and explore other videos available on screen to continue your journey through the fascinating history of the past.